Greetings, y'all. Welcome back to another episode of Yeah, I've Played. This is our third episode on the game Quantum Break. I realized I was saying it wrong. I was saying like quantum.
Quantum?
But it is a hard tum.
Okay.
I was saying quantum break.
Oh, that's weird.
Quentin
Quantum break.
I want to make a
What?
very sincere... I'm getting choked up. I just need to apologize.
This is an emotional part of the game.
Mm-hmm.
I've been saying this whole time that the acts do not have titles, and you guys corroborated that claim. I don't know where it fucking says the titles.
Is it just in the,
I think you have to go back to your memories, you know what I mean? Like the timeline or whatever. I think you have to go to timeline.
But it does,
so,
there are names to the parts?
Act 1, the number one killer is time. Act 2, and in my notes I said Acto 2. I don't know.
En español.
Acto dos.
Perfect place to hide something, which is reference to the swimming pool.
It's a reference to your...
right under my nutsack. I just tuck things in there.
And then tape them back.
Yes. And then Act 3 is called, and this is where we're at in the game right now, the wine and cheese crowd.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it looks like I'm a crazy guy because I just squinted really hard. My eyes got super dry for a second.
Do you need me to spit in them?
Yes.
Do you need some Chronon eye drops?
I need some Chronon Dr. Hatch.
So Act 3 contains 2 parts, which I think I also said, and you guys did not corroborate this claim. I was like, yeah, I think they all have like 3 parts. No, some have 2, some have 5.
Yeah, I was like, it varies from what I remember.
So the 2 parts are the research facility and the Monarch Gala, which we've been talking about
for a minute now.
A while, yeah. It's like it's the party that everyone's excited about.
Longer than a minute.
Pretty much from the beginning. Because
Yeah.
Paul invites you pretty much right off.
It's a big moment.
It's pretty early on. Followed by a Junction choice titled Amaral and Hatch. And then an episode of Quantum Break titled Deception. So let's just get right into the first part, the research facility. Jack Joyce is in his holding cell, and depending on your choices in the previous Junction, you'll either be freed by Beth Wilder, or she'll walk into your cell and you'll have her at gunpoint because because Hatch gave you a gun in one of the choices.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
And
He was like, just go kill Serene. Just go kill.
he's like, hey, if a bullet winds up ejecting from the barrel of this gun and
some wild mistake, some Alec Baldwin style accident.
Oh Christ! I can hear. I haven't seen that scene. I haven't seen the scene of Martin Hatch because I chose the other option. But I can perfectly because I'm a weak-willed.
Well, you know what, like in movies when somebody like is like, I'm gonna write an offer down on this piece of paper and slide it over to you. Mm-hmm. It's very much like that.
Yeah. But I can just like
except with like a gun and a key.
So imagine him being. He has a very clever way of speaking.
And he keeps like squinting harder and like pulling his head back harder. Just like just
tapping his nose, winking, pulling his ear.
Adjusting his tie, going.
Did you guys see that? It was a video of Sam Lake. I forget what he was doing. Oh man! So he was doing all those things. Hinting at
the video, yes, and he did have it taken down eventually.
That's right. Yeah.
The one you mean the one where his pecker is revealed, right?
Yeah. He taps his nose, pulls his ear, gives the whole time his penis is out. And
he's trying to distract you from it, being like, "Hey," the whole time.
Don't look at my horrible cock.
Horrible cock.
I had some weight to it.
What?
Nothing.
Anyway.
Did you see that video? The one I'm talking. It might be the one with Poets of the Fall.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Damn, it's really funny. I might send it.
I don't watch any of the fanboy videos you guys watch.
They're all really entertaining. Remedy does a surprisingly good job of doing things like a new game announcement or like a developer diary or whatever, and putting enough production value into them that there's even like little Easter eggs in the videos often.
Yeah, they really nail it.
For the Quantum Break ones, there's always like time fractures or time stutters, I should say, happening like in the video and stuff. And if you just like, if you're paying attention to the background, there's like time shit happening that they don't really draw attention to. It's a nice touch.
Time shit.
Time shit was actually so.
That was the
time knife. It was originally time shit. Is that what you're gonna go for?
Yeah.
Touches. The toilet disappears.
So anyway, Beth Wilder makes her way into your holding cell.
Shut up, Matt. Just the second the poop touches the toilet, the toilet's gone. You fall.
I'm drinking a delicious Vermont brewed Madonna double IPA from Zero Gravity.
It looks like it's like Olympics.
It looks like Olympics?
Yeah. Like on this
the
guy.
mountains remind you of the Olympics.
Yeah. Or like skiing.
I think you're just thinking of that like when they had the multicolored Olympic rings, right?
That could be it, yeah.
Yeah.
That is the Olympics. That's the Olympic logo. Or is it not anymore?
It's still the rings. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But there's like a specific poster inside of the monopole from like the 1986
Yeah,
like
with
Winter
like mountains
Olympics
behind it because it was in Placid, you know, and they had
our
the
local
fucking
bar.
skier.
Anyway, I'll put the poster up here. I'm sure I could find it. I might have to walk into Monopole and take a picture of it.
No. Nobody talk to me. I just need to take a picture
quick
of it.
vlog.
Can I get upstairs? Can you unlock the upstairs? The upstairs only opens at night. I'm going
On
at
the
I'm going at
weekends,
3 p.m.
On a Thursday.
So listen to me, all right? Jack Joyce is in his holding cell, and one way or another, Beth effing Wilder finds her way into the cell and is like, look, we can get you out of here. And so you make your way through a corridor, and she kind of opens up a door, you can call it, and it leads into like a cave, which was very confusing to me at first.
Oh, yeah.
But I guess this is like an underground facility.
Yes, there's like secret underground tunnels and facilities in Monarch. It seems like an Area 51 style scenario.
The Scala Island was it was formerly a World War II
fortification,
like, naval installation or something. Yeah, so
they have tons said a World War II fortification. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
is that why they had the big cannon and stuff?
Yeah, and like the fort walls, basically. It's an old fort.
I feel like the cannon would have been prior to World War II.
That's what it said. It seemed weird to me too because it seemed more like a Fort Ticonderoga, another local plug. Kind of vibe to me. Come on. We've definitely said exactly where we are before.
But that's like built of stone. Is what you're saying? Like it's like an older.
Well, no, there was cannons. Yeah. Like, I'm pretty sure by World War II they had artillery. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, there was an old-timey cannon.
Yeah.
I read the little thing about that cannon in particular, but I can't remember what it is now. Maybe it says like
It was called Old Blasty.
That's right.
And it had the biggest balls this side of the Mississippi.
Small barrel though. Biggest balls, smallest barrel.
It's about the balls.
Size of the balls. So it might have mentioned. Oh, sorry. I think it might have mentioned like even this seems out of place. Like I feel like they might have even said that in the game. Like when you said that, that's.
I don't remember. I noted that there was World War II notifications, and that was pretty much the.
I got a notification on my phone. It said World War II happening. I said, "Fuck."
Yeah. Did I say notifications?
Yeah.
I meant fortifications.
Oh. Well,
sorry.
I was rolling with it.
Anyway, so you go in, and then you make your way through a series of tunnels and corridors after the first corridor, but you learn the time rush ability here.
Yes.
That was sick.
So
Thank
you
God.
Need it, kind of.
Love the time rush. I used it like in every battle after that.
I mean, yeah, and it's specifically in this section of the game is when you like specifically start to need time rush.
Well, I was playing on hard the first time.
Oh, okay.
And I was getting wrecked constantly. Yeah. I was like really just, I don't know. I was just fucking up.
It was pretty overwhelming on normal in some cases where like you really are just kind of dashing around feverishly at points.
But the thing I didn't know the first time I played, because I couldn't get the timing down right, I think. I just was like, fuck it. I didn't know that the takedowns in Time Rush are a one-hit kill.
Yeah.
Where you just fucking end guys easily.
Oh yeah, no problem.
And it makes the more difficult combat scenarios a lot more manageable, especially when you're getting later in the game when you can like level it up and you can stack it so you can get like 2 or 3 in a row.
Yeah.
I got that, but I was never able to successfully do it.
They have to be near each other, I believe.
Right. It like only works like you gotta like be far enough away to start it and then ping pong.
I think
ping pong. Am I thinking of ping pong? I'm thinking of not ping pong. Pinball.
Pinball.
I was like,
pinball
I said
yourself
ping-pong.
Kenjeong.
So you need to pinball your way, like ding ding ding. You know.
I feel like I read into that though, and I think
bing bong ding bong.
What I thought
ding dong ding dong.
What I thought it allowed you to do.
Bump the table a little bit.
Yeah.
Left flipper, right flipper.
Yeah, right flipper. What I thought it allowed you to do was to
slow down on that first game.
I thought it let you stay in dead sprint, whatever the fuck it's called.
It's called a live sprint.
Cap a guy and then stay in it and then go cap another guy. But I think it just makes it so capping the guy doesn't take away, like it takes away less of your time or something. It didn't work how I expected it to.
It worked how I expected to, but I only got to do it once. There was two guys, and I was like, and then just went right off them and got the other guy. But they were like,
I didn't get very many chains.
And maybe I did
a
it
meter
wrong.
or two away from each other.
Usually kind of had to set it up almost.
Well, I couldn't get it at all my first playthrough.
Yeah,
so I mean,
maybe I'm just.
I didn't get it my first like few tries at it. It was later in the game.
It's
when
the
I finally
timing's a little weird.
Because the second I got this, like when I could start doing, because there's no other melee in this game that I'm aware of. You can't even like melee.
No, not unless you have to like time rush or sprint at him.
Yeah,
and
there's
then
no
fucking
like push like Jesse has. So the second I got this, I was like, hell yeah, because I don't love shooting in any game. I like melee combat more. So I was like, let's go.
Were you like saying, I wish I had Jesse's push?
That sounds rough. Where can I find a push like that?
Yeah.
A pushy like that?
Jesus Christ. I was hoping you wouldn't go there.
Yeah, I was hoping so too. So eventually you wind up in a research lab where there's two Monarch troops putting the armor onto a juggernaut, which is like the first like mini boss, I believe.
Yeah, pretty much.
And this fucked me hard the first time.
Yeah.
As in fucked me up. Fucked my shit right up in a way where I was getting my shit rocked in a fucked up way.
It was pushy.
It was fucked the way your shit was getting fucked.
Yes, I was basically getting repeatedly killed.
I only died for like a couple times, but
I'm struggling to remember this one.
You walk in and the guys are like, and it's such a goofy visual,
like Darth Vader. Like,
kinda, yeah.
Becoming Darth
or
Vader.
like putting power armor on in Fallout 4, kind of.
Oh,
when it
yeah.
like cuts when you're like.
I imagine the power armor is so claustrophobic.
Oh yeah.
I was recently watching spelunking videos, and like that stresses me out. It's like that makes me feel claustrophobic.
Yeah, I've been in a few caverns and caves, and even when the pathways like start to narrow a little bit, and it's still like enough you could fit like 3 people in there.
Yeah.
But it's not the mouth of the cave anymore. I immediately start feeling like,
Impending doom.
yeah.
Have you seen the movie The Descent?
That's your favorite horror movie?
Damn. That was
Where all the ladies go
Yes.
cave
Spelunking.
diving.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty brutal.
They get fucked
Very
up.
brutal. They get fucked up.
They get fucked up.
Yeah.
What were we talking about?
Getting fucked up by something else. The Juggernaut.
That's right.
The Juggernaut.
So basically what you need to
think
do
it
is
fucked
dash behind him, right?
And
shoot
then
him
go
in
into
the butt.
like your slow-mo
Yeah.
and shoot him right in the ass, yeah. It was like the square of the back, it wasn't the ass, but...
Really?
If I remember, there's like
I
a
thought
little...
it had like a big, almost like, you know how like the monkeys, the
Baboons?
baboons have a big red,
Big red
butt.
asses.
With
you know what I'm talking
about? Your like big red butts, you know?
What was I was just watching Murder by Numbers, which is a terrible Sandra Bullock movie from the 90s, or like maybe 2001. And it's about these 2 like high school kids, I think, who are like obsessed with murder, and they're trying to pull off this perfect murder and not get caught. And she's an investigator. And there's a scene where she just gets bit by one of those baboons.
Oh, no.
She like opens a shed, it bites her, you see its giant red ass, and it runs away. And they never mention it again. It's been stuck in my head for a while now. I'll put the clip here if I can find it. It's
Just gets attacked by a baboon.
and it's just like it's done. Don't mention it again. It's not part of a greater
Maybe
thing.
there's like a deleted scene. It's like a 5-minute later exposition on like the baboon wound getting infected and her having to treat it. And
Maybe, but I was thinking, yeah, the Juggernaut had a giant red butt you were shooting, but I'm wrong. I'm misremembering that.
it's on their back.
Oh, I guess yeah. They just has like a panel in his back.
Like from
you
Ren
have
and
to shoot.
Stimpy. Like
Yeah.
the
big
cheeks, those
grotesque
cakes,
ass.
his cakes.
So yeah, this was the first thing in the game too. I remember on my first playthrough that like really fucked me up because I you know the soldiers.
I had a comment in my notes that said it was combat is okay, but a little bit monotonous. Mm-hmm. At like the point right before that, and then the next line is, of course, I said that right before I immediately get fucked up by like a hard enemy, because like the rest was kind of like I'm just like freezing them or dashing and fucking shooting them and fucking whatever,
totally.
you know. And then this came up, and I was like, "Oh shit, I got fucked up right away."
This part ends where Jack eventually gets into Dr. Amaral's office. Am I saying that right? Amaral?
Amaral.
Amaral?
I said Amaral.
It's Amaral?
Amaral. Uh-huh.
Dr. Amaral's office.
Dr.
Amaranth.
But he sees that...
Amaranth is a Twitch streamer.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
Isn't she the one who sells her farts?
I think so. She got like banned off of Twitch a couple times
she's
or
one
something.
Of those characters, I think. Yeah.
I don't know.
Incredible, really. That
I wish I could sell my farts.
I wish I could sell my farts. I'm sure I could, but it would not. I think that the labor and the time and the dietary changes.
There's a market, but I don't think it's profitable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Not for us guys.
Not
I mean,
yet.
We have some beefy farts. Like there'd be
no
good
question
brew.
as to if we were faking it.
They'd
be like, oh, that's real fart happening in there.
So he sees that he has. He gets to Amaral's office. Mm-hmm. She's left the facility. She's gone to the
Yeah,
party.
she's at the party. She's fucking.
She's living it up with the studs.
So before we get to the,
she's throwing her back.
he heads out to the island, to the gala at the island. But before we get there, I want to talk about the facility is pretty fucking sick. There's lots of time stutters, and one in particular that's really interesting is the time stutter through like the office areas.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Oh, this is hilarious. Yeah, I had a really good time with this.
You guys mentioned the TPS reports.
Yeah, my TPS reports, and I was like...
And then there's a lady playing
Alan
Wake on her PC, and
missed
she's singing "Children of the Elder God."
Yeah.
But she's singing it like...
It's Children of the Elder God, bro. You sound just like her.
I think I did all right. It's very funny, and
I can't tell, Matt Hall. Maybe you or Jordan Hill could tell. I feel left out that I'm the only person with a last name that starts with H.
That doesn't start with H?
That doesn't start with H, and there's only 4 letters. But
you are left out of that situation. But I feel left out that I'm not. I'm the only guy who's not wearing glasses and a hat.
That's true. You got to get on that. You do have glasses and a hat.
I got my Zenny blue blockers.
With the slowed down time.
I just bought a second pair because I lost mine under a stack of papers.
Are those the ones that like you wear so the light from your computer screen doesn't hurt you?
Yeah. But they look just like yours.
I keep getting those.
They look normal, I swear to God.
They do. They're not like gamer goggles.
Like, do you know that like those HD glasses they sell for old people? They're like, it makes the world HD.
Wow.
Like it already is.
It's the highest definition you could ever see.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell if the slowed down time like voices, if they actually slowed them down, like a regular performance, or they just had somebody do the slow thing.
I'm almost positive they slowed it down because there's times where there's like it sounded like there was like artifacting from the slowdown.
All right, because that could be a challenge because just like little bleeps and bloops that you don't hear when something is in full motion, but if you slow it down, sometimes it pops. There's little pops and cracks and stuff. Because that could present a challenge because like if you don't give a performance that's conducive to slowing down, it might be impossible to understand them or just really hard. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, well, I think they just spoke their lines very clearly and then slowed them down.
Yeah, right.
My TPS reports.
Yeah, because if you mumble or if you don't.
You're like, my TPS reports.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, when a game has a budget like this, I don't think they let the voice actors mumble their lines.
They have a pretty good budget for this one.
Pretty good. Microsoft gave them some money.
They helped out a little bit.
I think they were able to pay for a fucking TV show and
some real actors.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Although I have seen like people say like, well, clearly the entire budget for this game went to getting those celebrities.
I disagree because like if you look at like the first Fallout game, they had some like pretty big names and the voice actors and.
So I do want to say that was before people started realizing how lucrative video game sales were.
Oh, okay.
And if you look at before 2010, there are some insane fucking names in video games that would not be the same today because people were not getting a lot of there wasn't a voice actors union. There wasn't like a lot of standardized shit.
Okay.
So people were getting like a check for.
Excuse me, that was disgusting.
I just have to come in and like read lines for a couple hours. Great.
Yeah, and then you get paid up front rather than.
And then the game is like a #1 bestseller for the next 30 years.
Yeah, Fallout's an absolute classic.
Wait a minute.
They didn't have like the royalties and everything set up in that kind of way. It was a little more of an outlaw industry at the time.
Okay. Wild West. Wild Wild West. Wild Wild West.
Now I must put his behind to the test. I was just talking about the Wild Wild West with you. I mentioned that I believe that the rodeo burger had its resurgence during the Wild Wild West movie, but I think it first appeared as a promotion for Small Soldiers. It could have been the other way around, though.
From Burger King?
From Burger King.
Nice.
Which one? Yeah, was it Small Soldiers or Wild Wild West first?
I think Small Soldiers came out first.
I think so.
I believe so.
I remember watching
that's
that as a
more
kid.
that's more of a core memory for me than Wild Wild West.
The thing I remember most from Wild Wild West is when Selma Hayek sits on the camera and you see her
Butthole.
ass.
Her
You don't see hole.
You never see hole.
They don't show that in movies much.
No, it's very rare.
Yeah, not a lot
You're
of
showing me ass. You
not a
better
lot
show
of
me the
hole. Not a lot of hole, because you'd see that a lot of people have hemorrhoids,
Oh yeah.
and they don't want you to know that.
You think that Big Hemorrhoid would want you, the industry would want...
Preparation, Big H.
Yeah. Well, good night.
That's the end.
Stay tuned for the next Remedy game, sponsored by Cortisol.
So,
Alan Wake. Oh, damn.
so anyway, I mean, you're bringing up a hypothetical. Could have been difficult to record slowed down audio, or could have been, or not. But anything else you want to share about this area?
No. Yes. Just slowing. Like,
Got it all out.
audio manipulation is just so unpredictable sometimes. There was another little thing hidden in there, but I can't remember what it was. Do you remember anything
I
else
left a
from
note
that
about there was a board up that was interesting, but I can't remember why it was interesting. I didn't leave detailed enough notes.
Cool
I thought it
board.
was cute and like funny. There's a funny and cute
I guess
whiteboard.
that's a good way to put it. There is a
There's
lot
little
of
things to
humor in this
explore.
part. There's the guy who's on like the weird dating site.
Yeah, I saw that one.
And he's like checking his dating profile while he's at work. Like he's in the conference room there. There's like a lot of good humor. A lot of good
Just
humor
little stuff.
bars.
Mm-hmm. But it looked cool. It was an interesting visually.
Yeah, and it reminds me of a game.
Visually.
When you're walking around Amaral's Frozen in Time. I don't know if you guys ever played this game, Clock Knockers 2, but it has a very similar vibe.
I thought that was the same game when I saw it. I was like, oh, that's Quantum Break.
Yeah, no, but it's a very similar vibe. These areas where all the office workers are frozen, very similar vibe to Clock Knockers 2.
Check out our review
from Archer Studios.
Matt Hall recently did a review.
No, the dev reached out to me. He spells it Archor, but it's Archer, like the show Archer.
Starring H. John Benjamin. John H. Benjamin.
Oh my God, Lynn.
That was really good.
That's my.
I can't do a good.
Oh my God.
That's great.
So
it's a very good impression.
That's all I can say as John H. Benjamin.
Yeah, that's kind of like my Peter Griffin. All I can do is, "Baby Stewart, don't sass me," or whatever he says.
That was really good. That was really. Your Austin Powers is way better.
You sounded way more like Lois.
I was about a Randy. Fuck. Do I make your pussy wet, baby?
Classic Mike Myers.
I can't believe how dirty that movie is.
Looking for a right Randy fuck, are you?
You want to hear my Homer Simpson
Really
impression?
getting off.
Oh yes.
Ow! That's your Homer Simpson.
It's not your Marge?
No, that's my Homer Simpson.
Oh, let's hear your Marge.
Marge! You want to hear my Marge?
Yeah.
Hey. Homie! Homie, I want to play Quantum Break now.
At the gala, depending on your choices in the previous Junction, so you had to decide last time around, would Paul Serene give the speech that he was intended to give? And the intention of the gala is to kind of just assert control and oh my God.
Take control.
The idea is like, it's like a PR thing. It's basically like, hey,
Martin Hatch
everything is going to plan.
Pumped up.
Monarch is still in control. Don't worry.
And like just ease everyone's concerns, kind of make them feel secure and safe.
Because people are aware of the time stutters, and they are aware that there is increasing in frequency and intensity.
And I believe you also learned here, this is when you learned that Clarice Ogawa, who's been interviewing you the whole time, you find an email that she's communicating with Hatch with his plans being like, let's bring down Serene. You know what I mean? And it seems like there's a little bit of word spreading that Serene's maybe a little unstable, or that the disease is kind of taking its, the chronon radiation is fucking
frying his
crazy.
brain.
He's getting crazy, getting a little wild, a little wacky.
Got fried
Some
eggs in there.
employees don't really seem to understand the hierarchy between Hatch and Serene.
Yeah.
Like, you can tell at different levels in the company, like, some people are like, wait, I thought that was the boss.
Yeah, well,
It's like,
it
no,
seems
it's
like
actually not how it works.
it seems like Serene doesn't totally want some of the like lower people to know that he's like the big cheese. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because Hatch is clearly the face of the company.
Yeah,
you know
I think it's better for him to operate in the shadows.
What we do in the shadows. Great show.
White Shadow.
What does that mean?
It's the name of
That sounds racist.
That's an old That's an old TV show.
Is it?
About a
White
retired
Shadow?
yeah, White Shadow's about a retired NBA player who's now a coach in an inner city school.
Is he
basketball
white?
coach. He's white. Yeah, he's got white hair too. White
Oh,
Shadow.
okay. Then that's probably where they got the name. I was referencing the guy that Samuel L. Jackson plays in the Boondocks. That white guy
is
with
probably-
like, the American flag headband.
Oh, that's probably. I don't think that's who they're referencing.
He's like a hardcore. He's like a terrorist pretty much, and they rob banks all the time. They just don't seem to ever get in trouble because he's
This
white.
is like a classic, like 70s, 60s. You know what I mean? Like TV drama.
White Shadow does sound racist though.
It does. It really does. It sounds like
bad.
some like weird like website you go to that you don't want us to
video-
know that you're into.
This video is gonna get shadow banned just for me
It's gonna
saying
get White
that.
Shadow banned.
White Shadow banned.
So depending on what you chose, so either Paul Serene will give the speech to kind of let everybody know, hey, Monarch's got the situation locked down, don't worry, or he'll prioritize his relationship with Jack Joyce and let Martin Hatch deliver the speech. So what did you guys choose?
Jordan Hill.
Oh, well,
Who delivered the speech in your scenario?
Paul Serene delivered the speech in my scenario.
You bastard. I had Martin Hatch do it.
And I also had Hatch do it, I believe.
In this playthrough.
Yes. I think. I don't remember for sure.
I've
'Cause
technically done
I've
both,
now
but
done
in my
both, so
original-
I don't remember
Yeah.
what I chose initially. So you said Paul gave the speech,
Paul gave the speech, yep.
but you've seen both scenarios?
Yes.
So, all right, we'll tell you what happens. So if Paul gives the speech, everyone goes away satisfied.
Yeah, pretty much
Everyone
goes off without a
feels
hitch.
good. Goes out without a hatch.
All right.
And then if Hatch gives the speech, he uses the opportunity to create a false assassination attempt on himself to make him look like he's like a targeted individual and that there's like some like nefarious force within Monarch trying to take him out.
Yeah. To kind of like sow more division within everybody and like more distrust, not only within like the people who he's trying to control, but also Paul Serene.
And this was broadcast. This
Yes.
event, so people saw it on TV.
Yeah. So Jack eventually meets up with Beth Wilder, and the two are able to secure Dr. Amaral after the party clears out a little bit.
Yeah, there's like a stutter, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is pretty cool.
And so the assassination gets blamed on Beth, the assassination attempt.
I had a weird theory, not about the assassination attempt, but about when you capture Amaral, which is the drone comes like crashing through the window
Yes.
right after the stutter ends. And I thought that, this is just like, big brain 9/11 conspiracy theory.
Oh boy.
But that it was that was intended to kill Amaral and you by Hatch. Because in my playthrough, Paul's giving the speech, Hatch gave you the gun to go kill Paul, and also knew that you were going to go kidnap Amaral.
I think the drone happens in both scenarios, though.
Oh, okay. I thought maybe
yeah.
it was a big brain scheme.
I thought the drone was drone was there to kill Sophia.
I didn't
but I thought maybe
understand
he was trying to
why.
kill both of
Who
you.
sent the drone for her? I didn't. That part didn't make sense to me.
I assumed it was Hatch because Hatch has been trying to. I mean, that doesn't make sense with what happens after this. You know what I mean? But I thought that was his game plan.
Right. No, it makes sense because in either scenario, Hatch doesn't trust or care for Amaral.
No, he hates her either way.
And in both scenarios, Amaral is, regardless of her alliance, and her feelings, she is still basically Paul's greatest ally in that she has developed and gives him the treatments.
And I believe it's suggested, I don't know if it's suggested yet, but you find it in a little email that there might be something more going on between Paul and Sophia, that there might be some sort of like romantic relationship or unrequited love or something. You know
but either way, Hatch would see Amaral as sort of like, if he could take her out, then Paul's kind of a non-issue at that point.
He's kind of like, because she's so in his ear,
yeah,
he's kind of the only thing that's like stopping him from totally corrupting Paul.
They kind of set up the drone a couple times before this. Do you guys remember that?
I don't.
Like at one point in a stutter, I think this is when you first get to the island. Excuse me. You can see, you can interact with it, and it'll say like, it gives you a little quip about it. And then I think there's another sequence where you can learn a little bit more about the drone. So it was just cool that they like built it out a little bit instead of it just being, there's a drone.
Right.
They said, and then even later on, there's another thing that talks about it a little bit, but that's way further. And you can see a room where they're like developing that kind of technology.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was cool.
Drones, man.
It's just cool that it wasn't just a throwaway thing.
Birds aren't real, man.
You said there's a little quip about it, but a quip is like a joke.
Yeah, they said.
It's a little limerick.
What's the difference? What's the difference between a drone and a bird?
Okay.
Nothing. They're the same thing.
It's kind of disturbing to me that the birds aren't real conspiracy theory is gaining so much traction.
Yeah.
And I guess, you know what? I'll save it for another video.
Crack one open and find out for yourself.
Yeah,
it's not. There's not.
They're plentiful.
There's not robot parts in there. I promise.
So
unless they recently ate an electronic.
So basically, they're able to get to Amaral's office. Beth takes her onto the boat, and Jack is left behind to fight his way back to the swimming hall where they're going to go work on the time machine together. So before we talk about the next area, I thought the fucking island fight was sick. Like at the party at the gala. Like
what are you trying to escape?
Like good cover, but lots of like hills and like winding pathways, and there was like turrets and shit. Like it felt like a very fun combat area. It wasn't just like, here's like a square room with like a couple stairwells or something.
And a couple little like hedges or whatever. You know what I mean? That you can fucking.
It was pretty varied.
Grills set up with like propane tanks that you could blow up and shit.
That was sick. Yeah.
It was really cool. I thought it was probably like up to this point the most like interactive combat area so far.
Yeah.
I thought
very
and
cool.
like varied.
Yeah, and it was challenging because guys would come, from different angles. Like you got to one end of the thing, and they started coming back from where you started.
Yeah. Or they'd come from like the side.
Yeah. It's pretty sick. I don't know. This is just like a fucking good level.
Which like we don't really take that for granted because I mean like we're playing Resident Evil 4 right now, and like sometimes guys just appear. You know what I mean?
Yeah, to a degree, yeah.
Like not always, not like they pop in, but there are times where like homeboy wasn't there and now he is. You're
like, Organtova! And then you're like, huh? Yeah. And then he's fucking stabbing you with a pitchfork in your chest.
Like they say, like, I'll kill you or something, and then you're just like, oh, you're out of nowhere. You're just.
I don't want to like go too far down the RE4 rabbit hole, but man, that sound that starts whenever there's enemies.
Ooh, that's ominous. Yeah. Yeah, that fucks me up.
Such a brutal noise. And it happens so much, but I don't get sick of it.
No.
But it always gives me like a...
it's very
unnerving. Very cerebral.
They're so, it's such a... You're so like, you have to be there the whole time. You know what I mean? It's a very engaging game. Like you're very much like, I'm on edge no matter what. Even when I'm doing well in combat. But again, that's another episode.
And the reason I bring it up is because points off to Quantum Break for not having like a crazy, annoying, grating like anxiety-inducing sound effect whenever enemies show up on screen.
I'm sure that there's definitely. Oh yeah, there's
a little bit of music.
I
hated the song at the end of this. At the end of this act.
Which one was it?
The one that sounds like Paramore.
Okay.
I skipped all the songs.
Really?
I gotta be honest.
I listened to all of them a little bit. I listened to like the first like 30 seconds at least.
Okay.
It's like act ends
get
with
that
Paramore.
far,
Bad game.
Some of the songs I thought were cool. There was like some weird like dance hall kind of like UK sound and stuff. Like there was
the first two acts I thought
music.
ended with good songs. Like as far as like because there's a song at every where it like plays out and it's like main menu continue. You know what I mean?
I think the battle music, I listened to it a couple times, and it's very just atmospheric. It sounds like percussive. It sounds like time. It sounds like it does when there's a time stutter, just like weird, like.
And the time stutter is more like the RE4 noise almost when you get in some of the more intense ones.
That's right. Yeah.
You get like stuck in one for a second, and you just walk up to them.
Yeah. This act is really though where I feel like the combat kind of started to ramp up a bit.
Oh, for sure.
And like the first mini boss battle, and then this is the most like you have people coming at you from every angle. And you have to like plan it out when you have most of your powers at this point, I believe, right?
Yeah, largely. I think you have access to almost everything.
Or no?
I think you have everything at this point.
I,
Part 3? Come on. Yeah. I believe so.
There's maybe one you didn't get.
Yeah, it's like maybe you don't have Time Blast yet where you can fucking shoot the explosive time.
Time Blast is a mystery to me. I'm just like, what is Time Blast? It's like, oh, you just like explode.
Just blow 'em up.
It's time. I'm like, what do you mean?
I don't know.
There was
You're accelerating time. I don't know.
Yeah, that one. Maybe there's an explanation, but my brain is just too small. There was one.
It's all science fiction.
We haven't talked about these things yet. The little barrels of time.
The Chronon barrels.
Yeah.
I never used those
I never
once.
flipping use them. Did you?
I didn't understand why I would shoot at them. They wouldn't
do
wouldn't
anything.
blow up.
Yeah.
I didn't know if you have to shoot them with the Time Blast.
I was super confused because there's a little tooltip.
You have to time blast them, freeze them,
Shoot a bunch of bullets.
And then when the time blast ends, they'll explode.
Yeah, and that creates a circle of slowed or stopped time around it.
Dumb.
But I remember specifically this was...
I've played this game almost fully 3 times now. Never used those. Like one time to be like, okay, I guess I get it. After I looked up a tutorial.
I tried to figure it out and I couldn't.
It's not intuitive.
Just like whatever.
So
I didn't really use the explosives that much. You know
this
what I mean?
confused the
Like,
hell out of me.
50-50
I often didn't see them.
Because when they're introduced, it's part 2 to the warehouses. And this is the part that I died the most at. But the tooltip says, here's the Chronon barrels. Stack bullets on them and they'll stop time or something like that. The term was stack bullets. And I'm like, that must mean freeze them with time, shoot a bunch, and then let it blast.
They bring up the stacking the bullets one other time before this.
Do they? Okay, I must have missed that because I was like...
Yeah, because they mentioned it about attacking enemies.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But when you're using the freeze time on enemies, it talks about
you can like
that.
shoot a bunch and then...
stacking.
okay.
Like, the first time I think it introduces it to you.
So that is my bad, but I did not know what that... I mean, I assumed correctly that it implied what we're talking about, but I remember thinking like, what the fuck? And I just couldn't get it to work.
Yeah, they're not great. Somewhere else in this area, I think when you're going through the facility is where you find the erotic play.
You mentioned that. I did not.
No?
No.
I might not have.
I think this is one of the collectibles where you find like an iPad or some shit. In like a parking garage, and then you have to go back to it a second time, and it'll start playing someone's like erotic audiobook.
Are you talking about the one that you play over the radio?
Yes.
Oh, then yeah, I totally got this one. This was hilarious. I don't know why I thought that.
It's like a horny like adventure story, like
like
a
fanfic.
D&D kind of like a fantasy.
It sounds like
And then
like a Tumblr blog post.
If you activate this,
but it's like fantasy, like Lord of the Rings fantasy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you activate it, you listen to it for a while. It's surprisingly long. It's like maybe like 2 minutes or less.
I listened all the way through this.
If you activate, you cause a quantum ripple that in the episode, like Martin Hatch, when he shows up in Deception, the next episode, he's all intense in the hallway. He's like, what is that? It's like playing on the loudspeaker.
Oh, thank God.
The guy's just like, I don't know, it was playing when we got here. And they kind of like try to shut it off, but Martin Hatch is just like, it kind of like takes his guard down a bit. He's just
it's very funny.
What is this?
So, the end of this episode does end with the terrible song that you hate.
I've never been to brag. That's
Okay, you guys are gonna get this video a copyright strike.
I would be thrilled if that was my Misery Business by Paramore was enough to trigger the AI.
We'll find out.
It's enough to trigger me. At the end of the thing, you kill everybody. Beth took Amaral away on a boat.
Took the boat.
I didn't really understand why you didn't just hop on the boat too. It didn't really make sense to me.
Yeah, it seemed like some. I don't like, fully remember the scene.
I gotta shoot everybody. You guys go ahead.
They'll never make it if I'm with them.
But you just fucking grab a key and steal a sports car.
Oh yeah, you steal the sports car
and drive away.
Peel out of
the sports car.
whip.
Yeah, we talked about that.
It's the sports car from earlier in the game.
Paul Sarens.
Oh, I didn't make that connection at all. I thought he was just like, heh, sick car.
And then
I just thought he was being like a like a car bro.
Sick whip.
Because this game is
518cc.
This game is sponsored by Nissan, so I wonder if that's a Nissan car. It seems like it's not though. I wonder if they also make like sports cars sometimes.
I'm sure they make some two-door coupes. You know what I mean?
Make some nice little. Because I didn't recognize what kind of car it was. It wasn't.
That's crazy because you're like. You're a guy who like recognizes cars, right?
Car guy. We're all big car guys.
Oh man, we all three of us truly.
Might as well call
I'm more of a car boy.
Call this Top Gear.
I was gonna say Top Gear, regular old American Top Gear over here.
What about car guys?
Is that a show?
I like car guys. No,
Is it an Instagram?
It is now.
TikTok?
What? Is it not? Oh, I'm thinking of Car Talk.
Oh, okay.
Don't know what that is either.
Car Talk?
I've never heard of that.
No. You talking about Cars too?
Talking about like the radio show that ran for like 50 years.
Lightning McQueen. He's fast.
Owen Wilson? No, I genuinely don't know what you're talking
It's
about.
Owen Wilson.
Really?
in Cars?
Owen Wilson is Lightning McQueen.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is.
No, he's not.
I
Can
swear
we
to God.
fact check this?
I'm gonna fact check it right now.
Who voices Lightning McQueen?
It's
If
Owen. It's Owen. Wow.
Owen
Ka-chow.
Wilson. Ka-chow. There's
It's
no
Owen
way
Wilson.
it's Owen Wilson.
Owen Wilson voices Lightning McQueen. I swear to God. This is
Oh, wow, I gotta win.
She was a Wicked Witch of the West, bro.
I gotta win them. I don't remember anything else from that video, but I remember
She
it.
floated down from a cloud.
Cars 3 voice cast B-roll footage featuring
I don't know
Owen
if he's in
Wilson.
Cars 3. Yeah.
He's
Lightning McQueen. Owen Wilson is the voice of Lightning McQueen in Cars.
what?
Yeah, fucking,
Oh, you might be confused because Hiroshi Tsushita is the Japanese voice.
that was probably what you were
yeah.
thinking. You were like, it's Hiroshi Tsushita.
It's Owen Wilson.
Yeah.
Wow.
They have celebrities in these fucking Pixar movies. Is it Pixar? I don't care.
Yeah, it's probably.
Wow, I gotta drive
Why
this
is that
car.
so crazy?
I remember watching the movie and I don't remember it being Owen Wilson.
Yeah, because he's doing a voice. He's
Owen
not just.
Wilson doing a voice. I'm Owen Wilson.
It's a
I'm
movie
doing
for
voice.
5-year-olds. Let's move on.
Well, on this channel, we do a lot of content for
We
babies.
actually did a quick Let's Play of
We did.
the
Of
Cars game.
It was really good.
I'm really shocked you guys don't know Car Talk.
I don't
Not
care.
so much.
I don't fucking care about
You-
cars at all.
Car Talk sounds like a guy. That sounds like the guy that you're getting fucked by in the in the audiobook.
What?
He's like an orc.
Car Talk.
He's Car Talk, the guy that fucks the other guy in the audiobook. That
Now I'm looking this up too just to make sure. If there's any viewers who are aware of Car Talk,
I want to know about Car
Out
Talk.
of our 500 subs, we made it.
you fucking jerk offs. my
It's like
my browser
5.5 now.
I type in Car Talk and it just freezes.
It's like that's forbidden knowledge. You can't know about Car
There's
Talk.
too many people searching for Car Talk at the same time. I need to open up another browser. Oh God.
You're gonna get another iPad.
All the embarrassing porn I was looking at.
Another rose gold iPad.
Car Talk ran from 1977 to 2012.
No idea.
Doesn't make me know what it is.
It's basically a show.
It's like it's a radio thing, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Why is it not crazy that we don't know this? But
Because-
it's crazy that I didn't know that Owen Wilson was the voice of Lightning McQueen.
Both are crazy.
Because
Wow.
one is like a movie that came out a couple, like, I don't know, 10 years ago
Yeah,
that is for babies, and the other one is a radio show that was on for 50 years that appeals to a very
not
wide
for
audience.
babies.
And was
It's for adult babies.
have you heard of Larry King?
I have heard of him.
Yeah. So I'm just saying, it's like Click and Clack are the hosts of Car Talk. It's a show where people would call in and be like, hey, my
Click
car...
and Clack? Is
yes.
this some Mystery Science Theater bullshit?
I've heard of like Coast to Coast.
Space Ghost?
It's a great show.
Not Space Ghost, but
People would be like, I got a problem with my car. And they'd be like, all right, well, first we're going to roast you. They're like, and then they would give very very good car advice, so you could avoid going somewhere if you could just they would tell you like, you're gonna have to go to someone. This is what it's probably gonna cost. Don't pay more than this. It was good. It was good car advice, but it was funny. Is the thing. It was a show that people who don't even own a car like myself could enjoy. I'm just shocked.
Mental can't drive.
Good advice, funny.
Not allowed to.
Yeah. Good advice that's funny. It's
local news, funny. That was our old slogan.
Was that our old slogan? Local news funny?
It was something like
The
that.
most trusted news source in the North Country. This cannot and will not be verified.
That was a secondary.
That was our tagline.
Please go do yourself a favor. Listen to an archived episode of Car Talk.
Or Trashcast.
I took them all down.
Aren't they still on the website?
I took them all down.
Fuck.
They're gone.
I didn't archive them.
I have them.
I don't want them.
Yeah. All right. There you go.
There's a couple big moments.
Back to Quantum Break.
If no one knows what we're talking about, Andrew and I did a podcast for like 2 years, and we said a lot of very inflammatory things, and Austin and I made the decision, without asking you, should we just take them all down? And we did.
Well, I'm glad I wasn't part of it.
Andrew made a really good pizza review that went over really well.
I scrubbed that.
I have that. He didn't scrub it as much as he thought he did. He made the video unlisted, but kept some of the links to it live.
I did.
Hell yeah.
Because
you didn't eat pizza at any of the places you reviewed?
Yeah, I did.
Other than Papa John's?
That wasn't the issue, you stupid idiot.
That was exactly the issue.
No, it wasn't. I have had pizza from those places. I just hadn't gone to all of them.
The issue was you had reviewed places that you hadn't actually gone to.
What place?
Not all of them, but some of the places.
You ranked places. You're like, well, I didn't go to this place, this place, this place, this place, this. You ate
I haven't been here in 10 years.
Yeah, and you were like, well, I hadn't gotten pizza here in 10 years, but I remember it being okay. So it was a tier list video.
I had it.
And you left out like half of the local establishments also.
I hadn't gone to those, you stupid idiot. In the beginning, I give a list of the places that I hadn't gone. And that's why they're not in the fucking list.
But you're saying that wasn't the issue. That was the issue. The issue was like,
they weren't in the ranking!
Right, local pizza tier list, except I'm excluding almost all of the local places, and the places I am including, I may not have been in the last 5 years.
And I'm including Papa John's, which is close.
Yeah, because it was the best. That wasn't in the list, it was an honorary mention.
Yeah, but you included it. And
I've had like good rebuttals to all of your concerns.
No, you haven't.
No, you haven't.
You're you said you went to
if you had
places
good
that you didn't
rebuttals
go
to
to. Like,
all
yes,
our
I did.
concerns, you wouldn't have taken the video down.
Because I didn't fucking think anyone would see it. And I kept getting comments like, this guy's fucking stupid. And I'm like, maybe I am, I don't know. Why is this one video of mine that you've seen?
Because people go, oh shit, somebody's ranking all the local pizza places. I'm curious.
No.
I offered to make a second one, you didn't want to do it. You got blue balls. Your balls are blue. My balls are blue. You made my balls blue.
I don't know.
You offered to make a second one?
Yeah, we talked about it extensively.
Then
Ryan
do it.
Penis Hayden, no. We were gonna go to each place and try to get him to sponsor it and like give us a free slice.
I remember talking about that with Ryan. I don't remember including you in that talk.
All three of us were a part of it. It was my road to redemption.
I was gonna do it without you initially.
You shouldn't have done that.
Just to go, look, fuck that guy.
We're buddies.
Andrew was watching a lot of Barstool Sports at the time, and he was like, I gotta get on this fucking wave.
No idea what that is.
That's fine.
You've never heard of Car Talk or Barstool Sports?
No.
That's fine.
So Serene is
my fucking next
furious.
D&D character, Kartok.
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 Serene is furious that Hatch allowed Amaral to be kidnapped.
Mm-hmm. Abducted.
That's
a good one.
Sound like there was a tiger in the next room.
So this is the scene where he like walks in and he just basically like fucking just grabs him by the throat.
Yeah.
And I'm shocked by this scenario where I don't know why, like, neither man is very physically imposing. They both have like their own imposing aura.
Hatch and Paul.
Yeah, but neither guy is like a brawler. You know, they're both kind of like they're of average build.
Hatch has got a good reach on him. It looks like, you know,
Yeah.
I mean, long arms.
But yeah, like Serene just fucking grabs him by the throat, and Hatch is like, "Cool out, man.
Chill out.
He says,
Cool down.
Paul, you're being crazy. Paul, just calm down, bro. Paul, take 5 seconds and just breathe, bro.
3 deep breaths, Paul.
Paul, I need you to just have a glass of water, all right? If you're going to hurl, Paul, take the bucket. Paul, if you're going to hurl in the bucket.
Paul, it's really embarrassing for you to be this down bad right now, bro. We're all trying to have a good time.
Paul, you are never going to make it through Hell Week if you don't. So Serene is furious that Hatch allowed Amaral to be taken away. Hatch tells Serene that there are forces in Monarch working against him, and that he should hold off on activating the lifeboat protocol until Hatch settles the situation.
And Paul says, no!
Well, Paul doesn't say no, unless you tell him to. Paul has to decide. Who does he trust more, Hatch or Amaral?
Who did you decide?
I chose Sophia Amaral, his
So
love
he trusted Sophia.
Weak.
And he trusts Hatch. I chose he trusts Hatch.
Yeah.
Lance
Reddick all the way, baby.
Paul Serene was smelling shit from the beginning. He knew that Hatch was never truly his buddy.
Well, they're both weary of each other.
Fucking A.
They're both weary of each other. They're both very competitive and just constantly trying to big dog each other. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you mean Paul and Hatch.
Paul and Hatch, yes.
Yeah, but also Sophia is
a bitch.
No, she's very loyal to Paul.
But she's also
She's questioning
though. She's questioning.
That's why, and so in my scenario, that's why they make it make sense a little bit because she is so she's trying to get him to activate the lifeboat protocol earlier. You know what I mean? She's trying to get him to do stuff that he's why are you trying to get me to do this? He doesn't totally trust her intentions.
He's
either.
Trust the plan.
Yeah,
I got it.
He's why are you questioning me so much? You know, he's pretty paranoid, honestly.
She's smelling shit that somebody else is after.
Well, she's the most aware of the chronon radiation and the way it's affecting him, and you know what I mean? And the severity of what's happening.
And she also
they paint it as though Sophia is the only one in the world who could possibly conceive of how to handle the chronon affected people.
I think her because no one's done as much research except for Dr. Kim.
Yeah, she's the expert on it, really. She's the surviving expert.
And she also
I guess it's dumb to say that she's the only one in the world. Well, yeah, the Monarch is probably the only place that's working on this stuff. But what I mean is that she is the only one with that set of skills.
And she sees Hatch as a... And they had that interaction where he was fuck you to her. And then she sees Paul as injured and wounded. You know what I mean? Because she's taking care of him and she can't... I think that's part of what keeps her from just blindly following him is the fact that she's his carer. You know?
Well, she sees his weakness. She sees him at his...
Ethan's carer.
She sees him at his weakest moments too.
Yeah, and firsthand developed the treatments to help him through those.
Yeah.
She's she is his life force.
She's his what was that movie with Stephen King book?
Misery.
Misery.
Yeah. I don't know if they have exactly one-to-one that relationship.
She's nursing him back to health and telling him what to do.
She did break his legs, yeah.
How do we know Sophia Amaral didn't give him the chrono? No.
That's a brutal scene, and I also didn't know that the actor who plays the man in that movie is also Buddy the Elf's dad in Elf.
Yeah, James Caan's a big actor. I had no idea. He was in The Godfather.
I haven't seen it.
You are...
Top Gear...
Top Gear,
Car Talk, Sports Barstool, whatever you said, and the
Sports
Mafia
Tool,
movie.
The Godfather.
I haven't seen The Sopranos.
I don't know.
Mafia stuff doesn't really.
I haven't seen The Sopranos either, but
you say that, but have you what Mafia movies have you seen?
Max Payne.
It's not a Mafia movie.
Goodfellas is great. Casino's great. Godfather's pretty good.
I'm just saying the imagery.
Serpico was all right.
Maybe it's good, but I'm not drawn to it.
That's fair.
Serpico's back.
That's fair. I would say it never drew me to it either. And then I was at a house party and they were watching Goodfellas.
You said
fucking.
Whoa!
I was like,
Goodfellas
Jesus
is a
fucking
10
Christ!
out of 10
This is an
movie.
insane movie. This is so fucking good.
Goodfellas is super good.
I'd check it out.
Got an all-star cast.
It's the kind of thing where I was just mafia stuff. I don't know, whatever. And then as soon as I was exposed to it, just holy shit! Now I get the hype. Also, emotionally, just like
roller coaster.
Yeah.
I had a friend that dressed
Brutal.
Tried to dress like a mobster to prom. Mm-hmm. And it just colored my colored my image of.
Oh, it's friend of the show. No.
I would say whatever happened to you in high school, let go. If Paul chooses to trust Dr. I know, you're fighting to hold on, but let go.
Oh.
If Paul one time in high school somebody said this thing, and so like for the next 35, 40 years of my life, I just decided to let that influence me forever.
Mm-hmm.
I did intentionally make those choices, yes.
If Paul chooses to trust Dr. Amaral, he'll demand that Hatch gets immediately detained.
Mm-hmm. Lock him up!
And they go, lock him up! Lock him up! And they're talking about Hatch's emails. So Paul will learn that Beth Wilder has been Jack Joyce's accomplice. Jack will become skeptical of Dr. Amaral and will be doubtful that she will help, and Jack will be doubtful that she'll be helpful with the countermeasure. Because if you forgot, the whole reason they snatched her was to bring her to the swimming hall to help with the countermeasure and help with the time machine and try to they think maybe the time machine is the countermeasure. They don't really know what's going on
unaware
yet.
of, there's still, and we're still not totally clear on what the fucking lifeboat is.
No, they just know they need to activate it or not.
And and clearly none of them are experts at this, because it's they're like, we're gonna point a gun at you and then you gotta help us, and it's in theory that'll work, but she's not gonna help you. you know?
Yeah. So if he trusts Hatch, Amaral will be taken in as a prisoner, and Serene will continue to work with Hatch. But either way, Paul does learn about Beth helping Jack, and you get a cut scene of Beth arriving in 1999 and pointing a gun, firing at Paul Serene, and you're like, what the fuck is that?
Well, and he had always, I think he mentioned, he always knew. He knew who she was, but not who she was. You know what I mean? He had her in his mind's eye.
She's just known as mystery woman.
Yeah, but he didn't know that she worked for him. You know what I mean, or whatever.
And that says a lot too. That that he knew Mystery Woman, because you saw it on the boards and stuff. Apprehend her and shit, and fucking Monarch is so big that she was able to infiltrate.
She was at the gala, just wandering around. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think I mentioned this.
Can I take a big piss? I gotta piss bad.
Yeah, you can take a piss.
Sick.
You should pause the thing. And we're back. How was your giant piss?
Oh, great. I forgot to put my dick away.
So, either way, like I said, you see a little flashback of Jesse Faden arriving in 1999 and shooting at Littlefinger. So, this brings us to episode 3 of the TV show called Quantum Break, Deception.
Quantum.
So, when we last left our characters,
our heroes,
Charlie, Fiona
Miller,
Charlie bit my finger, Fiona Apple,
Fiona from Shrek,
and Liam Gallagher
from
Oasis.
Is he the one that fights all the time?
Yeah, they're both.
Is he the one that actually writes the songs though, or is he the?
I thought they both wrote.
No, one of them writes the songs, and the other one sings it.
Oh, I guess I don't know. You know, it's just so okay to me.
It's not good music.
I think it's fine.
Yeah, in the same way I think Radiohead's fine.
I think Radiohead is fine. I think Radiohead is, if you're like 15, you'd never heard experimental rock, let that be your gateway.
Pretty cool. Then that's fine.
That's fine.
I'm 15 and I've never heard experimental rock, so let's go.
That's fine.
Then let it be your gateway, and then discover some better stuff.
Yeah, discover stuff that's better than Radiohead.
Anyway.
What about Robot Computer, their album or whatever?
Okay, Computer?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really just it's a very okay example of that style.
All right.
It's
very introductory.
It's very derivative.
It's extremely derivative. Yeah.
They weren't the first ones to do it. Let's put it that way.
It's hey,
they certainly acted
let's
like they
take
were.
these cool ideas, dumb them down, and then put them in an album for people who are scared of change.
And let's steal a really major melody from the Hollies.
Well, based on your recommendations, I'm going to form my entire personality around enjoying this band.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Go for it. What's that guy's name from South Park who loves Radiohead?
Cartman?
No, Cartman kills his parents and feeds them to him. he loves.
Oh.
Scott Tenorman.
Scott Tenorman, yeah.
I was
You're
gonna
going
say
to be
Scott.
Scott Tenorman. I knew it was Scott, but I was like, Scott Stapp.
Yeah, Scott Stapp, yeah.
Who's the fucking lead singer or some
That's pretty
shit
brutal, yeah.
So we get to episode 3.
Speaking of Scott Stapp, do you guys remember when he came to our hometown?
That's right. He performed.
Who is he again?
He's the lead singer of Creed.
Yes. Okay, yeah.
They
I was like,
kicked
now
him
that I
out
have
of
the
the band.
context, but...
He's not-
Anyway,
not allowed to-
Charlie and Fiona and Liam were inside of Dr. Kim's lab. There was a time stutter. Fiona got stuck.
But then she didn't.
She got unstuck. But Charlie ran away with the Chronon harnesses.
HRAs.
Yes.
Oh.
They're HRAs. They're basically HRAs.
Huh?
Or maybe the HRAs are the Chronon assisting whatever.
Maybe it's the same technology.
Maybe.
Is Polaris just time?
It'd be funny if you found
cares?
Dr. Darling's resume if she was applying for a position at
Right.
Monarch.
Oh, that would have been so cool.
So
His doofy face.
Charlie is still fleeing from the Monarch troops because even though he turned on Liam,
Turned on Liam?
Yeah, he got him hard.
yeah, he turned on. I'm sorry, he turned Liam on. Is that what I should have said?
Yeah.
Yes.
I was confused.
Even though he gave Liam a wicked bona.
a fat blowy.
No, even though he turned on Liam, he doesn't really have anyone like he's still like being shot at by Monarch.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he was still technically breaking into the lab.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's screwed.
Screwed McDuck.
So what happens is he stops.
He says, I'm Screwed McDuck. And he runs away.
You know, I'm editing our Duke Nukem 1 and 2 videos, and in Duke Nukem 2, he says, I am so screwed, like 3 times, as if they were trying to make, I am so screwed, like
his
Duke Nukem's catchphrase. And
don't
like
hear him
just
saying
knowing
that.
like Duke Nukem from Duke Nukem 3D, damn, I am so screwed. Like it just doesn't sound like something he would
not-
say. He'd be like, damn, you're fucked.
Yeah, I'm fucked 6 ways from Sunday.
I don't think he would ever admit that he was fucked.
I don't think, yeah, you're right. I don't think he would.
6 ways from Sunday.
This, you're fucked. Damn.
I was getting fucked 6 ways from Sunday, and Tuesday was giving me a reach around. Max Payne 3.
I can only wait for the weekend.
That was pretty solid.
Somehow mine's still better for an
How about this?
all right. Do you want to give me the line and I'll say it?
No, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna prove that mine's
I
better.
want to do it.
You can compete with me.
All right.
Hey Lois.
That one really got you. Oh. All right.
Marty. Marge's crimson red blood mixed with her beautiful azul hair created a purple hue in the light on the floor.
This Homer murdering Marge and then narrating it.
As Max Payne 3. Max
So
Payne.
anyway, Charlie covertly puts on the Chronon harness. Is there another word for these? They're
They
just
call them harnesses. I think they just
Harnesses.
call them put on a harness. I don't think they're like put on the Chronon harness.
Put on the Chronon trademark harness.
They might have an abbreviation, but I think just harness, yeah.
Yeah, so he like
CHR.
he stops and he's like, wait a minute, and he puts the Chronon harness on under his clothes,
jacket, yeah.
so he can covertly be protected.
And we get a 6 shot of Charlie's hard body. No, I'm kidding.
Get a little peek.
I was like, do we? Because
No.
yeah, I thought it was similar to like when you get the 6 shot of Dr. Darling's hard body. You're like, damn, he's
None of us
surprisingly
expected
ripped.
that, yeah. He's a very unassuming figure through clothing, but then it comes off and it's like, oh, wow. He's not huge, but he's not small. He's very lean.
Not bulky.
So Charlie makes his way, and I'm not entirely sure where this happens if he goes back to the Gala, but he makes his way to Martin Hatch, and he asks him about the lifeboat protocol.
Oh, yeah, he runs his little took us back. He
Yeah.
meets him at that was a cool scene.
Where he meets with Martin Hatch.
Yeah, in that little space with like this.
It's like a little
crazy
conference room that's just all glass around it.
Table, and they have some ridiculous whiskey. It was just like everything looked like it was very expensive. It just looked really cool.
I wouldn't mind some ridiculous whiskey. I wouldn't mind having a.
I'm gonna have a couple glasses when I get home.
I wouldn't mind having a whiskey with Martin Hatch.
I prefer Kong.
I would.
Have a lot to
I'd
say.
fucking love to just hang out with Lance Reddick.
Oh, Lance Reddick, no, but Martin Hatch,
yes. Tell me what it's like to be an immortal time being. I'm hammered.
Well,
shouldn't have smoked
he
before.
He just time blasts me into oblivion.
I'd let him time blast.
He time blasts me literally into oblivion. The game.
Oh my god, it was you. My dreams.
So you wake up in the fucking prison cell.
I feel like this is the most unhinged episode.
Oh yeah, we've really gone off the rails.
We're like 17 hours into this fucking video.
Not
We're really like 4 hours in.
Really?
This is like much shorter than our other ones.
We're giving up.
So Charlie finds Hatch and he's like, "What's up with the lifeboat protocol?" And Hatch essentially says, "Look,
you need to kill Paul.
This is going to save people, but it's only for essential employees. And under Paul Serene's reign, you're not essential. However, if you were to help me get the countermeasure, or what they call the CFR, which is the Chronon Field Regulator,
regurgitator."
He's like, "Charlie,
sucks
Mr. Charlie, you can be my right-hand man." So Charlie, Hatch tells him there's underground tunnels. You can go back to HQ.
Go under there like the worm you are.
And Charlie's like, "Yeah, if I can get to HQ, I can fucking bypass the lockdown and get to the CFR."
Martin has I know I keep saying this, but he's just so like suave. Like I remember like just being like
he's just very confident.
He's like a Bond villain.
Yeah, really. Like he's just so smooth. He's like, there's this, and then there's this, but here's where you fit.
Because he has Paul Serene's power, but none of the mania that goes with it. Like he has that like
clarity.
That he can see time in all directions.
Like, transcended.
He puts his hand.
But he's not like bugged out by it.
Like, have you ever met like a Wook who like just talks down to you because like they've taken so much acid and they're like, you just don't get it, and I'm like, no, you've just like lost your mind. He has that level of confidence.
I get it, but you're the one asking me to borrow 30 cents.
Yeah, like, I get it. You're the one asking me if I can pay for your beer at the bar.
Yeah.
And I'm working here. I work here.
I work here. I got a broom in my hand.
No, but like but he has like but it's like it's earned. He has that confidence, but earned. You know?
Yeah, it's just very, and I know that like a lot of that, a majority of that is the performance. But man, it's just so good.
He's a great actor.
This is really going to open up some doors for Lance Reddick.
Yeah, his career was struggling
I hope
before
that he gets
this.
to be in anything else.
Yeah.
No, like no iconic TV shows from the 90s or early 2000s.
No.
Not a single
breakout performance.
Paul Serene, he's seen walking through a corridor, and a Monarch scientist is like, "Hey man, time is breaking down faster than we expected, and the Joyce field will likely collapse within 8 hours."
And then he freezes.
Aren't they like
Then there's a time stutter, and everyone freezes.
It's like there might be a later scene where it's like this. They like give him the iPad and he's looking at it, and then he looks up and he's like, "Fucking," just drops it and like walks away.
Yeah, because everyone froze. So Charlie, and I'm taking this from the Quantum Break wiki. Just to be honest, I was like, why am I writing a recap when there's a recap here? So Charlie makes it toward a bridge, and as he crosses it, he encounters Fiona Miller and Liam Burke following behind him. They're like, "Gotcha, you little bitch."
Hey, Charlie. That's what Liam says.
What is that? Is that Max Payne?
Hey, Charlie. No, I was just making. That was the cadence he had. They were like, "We're gonna fucking kill you now."
Like Fed Smoker? You sound like fucking Fed Smoker.
Hey, Charlie.
You don't know who Fed Smoker
We're talking about so much shit I don't know.
Oh, Fed Smoker's a guy who I can't remember his real name, but his whole thing was like he lived in his car and he drove across country. He did a lot of meth, and his whole thing was that he was bringing down like the FBI and all the corrupt cops in the world, and he was doing this a lot. And he's stuck through his teeth. He's like, "Don't talk to me, baby raper." That's what he called cops, baby rapers.
Oh, yeah. So they said Reaper.
He's a real guy. He died recently. Rest in peace, Fed Smoker. But
shame.
So Charlie's like, "Liam, Fiona, I was looking for you.
I want to be friends again.
I found out about the lifeboat protocol. I can get you both on the list." And
he
he's
kind
like,
of gives like Liam like if you're nice to me.
You bitch,
so
somebody's slamming down those stairs.
they're making their way to some underground tunnels under Gull Island, and they're going there. But what Fiona and Liam don't know is that when Charlie's talking to them, he's on a secret wire call with Martin Hatch.
He's got his phone going. I actually knocked it down that time. I'm just going to keep leaning on it because then I don't hit it.
Yeah, it's good.
I almost moved it. I was like, I don't know if he uses that as an armrest.
I don't usually. I mean, it's pretty good. But then
So Martin Hatch hears everything.
Yeah. So,
it was really weird that Liam said his social security card number out loud. Now Hatch has it.
So Hatch goes to the machine that Dr. Kim is trapped inside of, and he says that he's come to free him. And as Hatch begins to leave the laboratory, he walks out, he pushes a button, which causes the laboratory to explode and kills everyone inside of it.
And it's worth noting that to get into the lab, he uses like a fingerprint he had like lifted from Sophia Amaral earlier. From,
he has a little Teflon.
Yeah, it's like a little thing that he like
something.
fucking put on something she touched earlier.
So, conceivably, we talked about the shifter. Is the shifter that's wreaking havoc on the building Dr. Kim?
I don't
because he frees Dr. Kim in this scene.
Yeah, I don't believe so, and I was really hoping.
Oh, I thought he killed him.
No, he freed him.
I don't think an explosion could kill a shifter.
No, it doesn't seem like it. Yeah, but I assumed there was going to be like we talked about in the last episode.
I thought the shifter was Dr. Hatch.
Dr. Kim.
I thought it was Martin Hatch.
That was it looked like
he's a shifter as well, but he's not the one.
The one looked like it was like a white guy in a leather jacket.
I couldn't really make him out.
You see him for a second.
Okay, I remember just seeing him like T-posing and then like transforming into a bunch of other shit.
You see him like
either way, this was a little ambiguous to me. Maybe a Quantum Break fanatic can fill us in as to exactly what happened, but basically he's like, Kim, don't worry. And it seems like he understands because he's a shifter as well.
Yeah.
He understands where Kim is at, and I don't know if he intends to groom Kim into a more, stable being.
Or maybe he just likes the chaos. You know what I mean? Maybe he's like the Jonkler.
Maybe.
He wants to watch the world wane.
What is the Jonkler?
The Joker.
Oh, okay. That was another thing I didn't know.
I'm the Joker, baby.
I'm the Jonkler, baby. I thought, so I meant to relook
at that Jonkler.
I meant to look this up, but the phrasing that Hatch uses when he addresses Kim in the thing before he blows the shit up was mystical in some ways. He says something like, I'll return you to the ever time, brother, or something like that.
Actually, what he says is, put it on me, Zaddy.
Okay, that's right. Yeah, I forgot. And we didn't know what that meant at the time. A couple years later, we understood. But
he said, "Let me eat it from the back."
Oh God, that's what really clued me into that. Hatch was like that cemented that he's definitely has some sort of like affiliation with the occult.
I still wasn't there yet. I knew that he clearly had something else going on, but we haven't hit the point yet. I don't believe where you like it is revealed to you.
To me,
no, it's at the very end of the game that they're like, here's all our cards.
Yeah.
But it is,
but
an echo, a prior, I should say, Control echoes this, where there's, Dr. Ash or Director Ash, how he's more like, let's be in touch with the occult and the esoteric.
Yeah.
And Director, who came after him, Northmore, who was like, all that shit sucks. We're going to use clean corporate speak from now on. It's those two ideologies where it's like both Serene and Hatch are in touch with the Chronon field and the Joyce field and the Chronon particles and all that shit. But it's like, whereas they're doing it through a laboratory, Hatch found it organically in the cave.
God knows why.
In a fucking cave.
Hatch.
Call back to the spelunking talk earlier.
Hatch also mentioned, when he's talking about the naturally occurring time machine cave or whatever, he also mentions this natural nuclear reactor. Did you guys catch that? In like Africa? And I looked that up, and I feel like I couldn't find any information on it, so I stopped looking.
Okay.
That's a non-story.
No, it was like...
I went nowhere at all.
I don't think you guys are picking up what I'm putting down here. Like, I looked it up, and...
Are you afraid to look deeper?
It seemed like information wasn't readily available, so I said...
Maybe it's fake.
Yeah, it probably doesn't exist.
No, there was a little bit. Like, it was a specific place. I hope you guys... I hoped you
get
guys
a VPN.
Yeah.
NordVPN.
I have a VPN. Yeah. It's like
Really?
like it's you sound like David Icke right now, where you're like
Billy Eichner. Who's David Icke?
Get cultured.
Yeah, you got to listen to more like
the things that I like.
No, it's
no,
not.
I'm not saying
These
like
are all,
things I
don't like David Icke.
I know all the shit you like. I'm familiar with those things.
Who's David Icke?
I'm not like, what is Bring Me the Horizon?
I don't like Bring Me the Horizon that much.
What is
Parkway Drive?
What is
I'm wearing their shirt.
Blood
right now,
Brothers?
actually. What is Blood Brothers? You're making shit up.
It's probably a band that all the bands you like used to like when they were kids.
They don't do that. Who's David Icke? Tell me.
He's just like a conspiracy theorist, like crazy guy.
He's the guy who
I need to know about him.
He's the guy who popularized. Well, he's a very important figure. He's the guy who popularized the idea of lizard people, lizard people.
I don't like how you said that.
Well, he's the guy who popularized the ligma theory.
Okay, then I would like to familiarize myself. But it seemed like
You should.
there were scraps. what I'm trying to say is that it seemed like this was based on a true event, and there were scraps of information when I Googled it quickly that didn't seem to lead anywhere, in such a way that I was like, that's weird. So I just didn't look anymore.
Why not?
Because it seemed like it was maybe a scary thing, and I said, I don't want to be involved.
That's why you never
Top
heard of
5.
David Icke or Car Talk.
Don't care. Yeah, car
either.
talk. It sounds scary. No interest in being
Car go
on
too fast.
one of your little angry, scary
Go
lists.
too fast. How fix?
My car's too fast. Why does the dial go up to 150?
I do want to reiterate that all the stuff I'm aware of, it doesn't mean that I like that stuff.
Yeah,
it
like
just means that I'm aware of it.
I don't think that like Obama's a reptilian. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I don't. But like, is it funny? Kind of. It was
Like I've been aware of David Icke since like 2002, 2003.
around for a long time. He's also he's really funny to listen to because he goes off on a lot of he goes off on tangents where you're like he does stuff where he's reasonable enough where you're like I can see, and then he says something where you're like okay.
Boy,
The other reason why David Icke in particular is very interesting is because that he was like he was a former sports broadcaster for a long time, and he did do a lot of
drugs.
well-respected kind of talks and writings on different things, and then over time was like, got into some anti-Semitic stuff.
It always gets there.
And got into the lizard people stuff. And then just kind of and then kind of stayed in that like extreme conspiracy theory realm where it was like, what's this guy who like seems to have clearly known better? Like why is he so hung up on like this like extremist shit?
Because he discovered the truth.
That's
one angle, yeah, sure, maybe. But also, like, he can sell out, like, arenas. Like, and it's like, how does this guy maintain an audience? It's like, basically, if Alex Jones wasn't such a blacklisted fringe figure, but, like...
Punch me in the face right now! Choke me out!
If Alex Jones was more like I'm trying to think of, like, who was, like, a speaker that's, like, a little more... that people even like to
Rush
see.
Limbaugh? I don't know.
Maybe a little more like that, or maybe more like a Glenn Beck or something.
Yeah, Glenn Beck. Yeah, Glenn Beck I think is a better example.
Someone who's like, all right, that guy's a little on the fringes, but I don't think he's like part of a hate group. And then you're like,
go see
whoa,
like Ben
maybe.
Shapiro go talk.
Yeah. But if Ben Shapiro was like, the Democrats are all lizard people.
And those lizard people.
Man, all these spicy words you guys are saying to get this video so shadow banned.
Democrat, Shapiro.
Yeah. You said lizard
Icke.
people. That's it. Unless
Oh my goodness.
To the AI, to the algorithm on YouTube, if you say lizard people and you don't say the word Skyrim within 20 words,
Like if Argonian
before or
isn't somewhere
after,
else.
I don't
in the
think
video.
you understand
shadow banned.
how huge those channels are.
Like David Icke and like all that
Yeah,
stuff.
or the Ben Shapiro channel, or the daily.
yeah, but I'm saying if
Daily
we're talking about
butt
it,
crack wherever he runs.
Daily Butt Crack, or if we're talking about it in our
Mail.
little video here, the algorithm's gonna hear all that shit and it's like, oh man, keep that away from the good people.
Yeah, they're gonna only give it to the bad people.
They're only gonna give it to the bad people.
Only people who like Ben Shapiro can watch this video.
Don't you dare watch this.
If you don't like Ben Shapiro, unsubscribe. Please don't. I fucking
Fans of his sister are tolerated.
He's a fan of his sister, so.
Hey, who couldn't be? I applaud any woman who is preaching modesty in this fucked up world we live in, you know?
I hate iPads.
All right, anyway.
Where were we?
So,
Martin Hatch.
Liam, Fiona, and Charlie are going through the tunnels.
Yes.
There's a time stutter, and, like, water's rushing through.
This is cool, yeah.
It's like a very, like,
Indiana Jones.
it's very tense, yeah. Indiana Jones, yeah.
Because time stops for a second, and...
Charlie almost leaves him behind.
Yeah, Charlie
He has
thinks
like
about
a
it.
moral dilemma.
But I also don't know if his punk ass could have ran away fast enough.
Well, go ahead.
So
they finally get out of the tunnels.
I think it would also reveal that he had the harness on, which he was kind of trying to keep secret from them.
Right. He didn't want them to know that he kept the harness secretly. So he gets shot. Liam gets shot by a guard
He gets
named
blasted.
Carlo.
Yeah.
You see some emails between these guys later on.
Yeah.
This guy and another guy who's like the same guy.
Even still, it took me until reading a second one to realize what they were. I was like, who the fuck?
They leave Liam to die, pretty much.
Yeah, Fiona's pretty torn up about it, though. Charlie,
but it's also, she needs to survive.
She's got a bigger plan. Yeah.
She has, and she, like she says later, it's like, it's not about us, you fucking idiot.
Yeah.
So Charlie talks his way out of being shot and leaves with Fiona saying, like, we're both important Monarch staff.
I can get us on the list.
We are supposed to go to the lifeboat protocol. Like, please don't shoot us. And they're like, all right, you know, if you're who you say you are, you can go. Which, shocking that it works. But Fiona then fucking decks Charlie in the fucking face and drives away.
This is the second time he's been punched in this episode. Because Liam gets him in the gut earlier. Because he brings up his pregnant wife or whatever.
Yeah. Oh, he goes, I'm going to love killing your wife. Or something, basically. Which is a very fucked up line where it's like, why are you so sick? What is wrong with you, Carlo? But as soon as he says that, he gets up and he has a knife in his boot. There's a knife in my boot.
I was gonna fuck
and
you
he
guys.
fucking slits his throat open.
He gets it right open.
So Liam stands up.
That was definitely, like I said, like, whoa! Like, I was really... I kind of thought Liam was dead, honestly. It got me.
I did too, but after he slits his throat, he shoots him.
He doesn't just shoot him, Matt. He gives him, like, the triple time.
Yeah, he gives him a few times. It's like, when he got shot, it was like, they played it off like he died, but I was like, I definitely just watched him get shot, like, right here. You know what I mean?
He got shot in the shoulder.
Yeah.
I didn't see where the shot hit. So
I saw like the blood, you know what I mean, splatter came not from head, but from head and shoulders. No,
so
the squid,
it's now 11:16 p.m. Hatch tells Serene that Dr. Kim's laboratory and Commander Davis have all been blown up by Jack Joyce and Beth Wilder.
That bitch.
So Serene begins to hallucinate visions through time and asks about his treatments, which also were destroyed in the explosion. Serene then says that Hatch fucking fucked him over. He's saying, you blew it up, and Hatch shows Serene logs on who entered Dr. Kim's lab and was like, look, it was Sophia Amaral, because he used Amaral's fingerprints.
Yeah, which he had like lifted earlier.
He's duping him.
He's really, and especially if you pick Hatch at the junction point for who to trust, he manipulates him so hard.
Really?
So hard. Like it's like he's just absolutely like, if you support Hatch, if you pick like not only like letting Hatch let Jack go free and then also trusting Hatch, like
he fucks him over.
He does hardcore.
So he's saying, look, it was Amaral. You're at your junction point now. You're seeing the effects of your junction point,
yes.
I should say. So if you chose to trust Amaral, right?
Yeah.
So Serene will leave the room. He's not willing to believe that Sophia Amaral turned on him. And he doesn't believe what Hatch is saying. So Serene claims that Jack and Beth had forced her to do this. There's no way that she acted on her own. And he believes that Amaral is trying to help him. So he enters the lab where the CFR is located, and he begins to activate the lifeboat protocol. Hatch walks away in disappointment. Cars can be seen all throughout Riverport as Monarch specialists are picked up and taken to the safe room without their families.
Yeah, this is kind of like, he's like, let me just get my wife and kids. And they're like, you're not going to need them. And he's like, okay.
What was brutal is his seemingly lack of like hesitance too. It seems like they're aware.
It's one of those things where it's like
you have no choice.
Well, and it's like again, we pointed out earlier, we don't really know if this means that all of these people are going to die.
Yeah.
You know, because and even depending on how, because we don't know how their bodies are affected from being in that stasis for so long.
Yeah.
But we also don't know how long it would take them to fix it. You know what I mean? So it could be weeks,
Could
months,
be a fortnight.
years. Yeah.
A whole fortnight.
Victory Royale. No, but yeah, I'm Spider-Man watching MLK speech in Fortnite.
That's brutal.
And flossing.
So Liam,
Remember Martin? I forgot to mention this earlier. When you choose choose Amaral over Martin Hatch.
I'm just breathing.
Is that a normal way to breathe?
Normal for me. What? Let me be.
That's how Paul.
Stop trying to get me to like the way that you breathe. I want to breathe the way I like to breathe.
Breathe free.
Free breather. I don't hear any breath going. I just see lip. There you go. Okay, I respect it now. Anyway, there's a tremendous tension between Hatch and Paul when you side with Sophia. That last junction.
It exists either way.
Yeah.
It exists either way because
there's already
no matter what,
disease.
Paul's just getting super aggressive.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah,
because
he's going unhinged.
But I remember
and now he just figured out his treatments are gone. Either way, you know what I mean.
Paul says something like, "No, we're going with Sophia. She's loyal. She wouldn't lie to me." And that's like a weird I know you're fucking around to Martin Hatch, and he just says, "Is that so?" And then he walks away, and it's just I was like, "Oh god," are they about to fuck each other up?
I think he says, "She could deceive you with relative ease."
That's right. He did say that. Have you put that in every single video you've done?
I wish.
You're getting
No.
close.
I've done it 4 times.
Go back 10 years. Every
Out of our
trash
300
video
videos.
has in it somewhere.
Relative ease in some way.
So next up, Liam makes his way to the hospital, Riverport Hospital, that is, where his wife, Emily Burke, is mad pregnant. And
I thought she was
fucking
having the baby
fat.
at first when he went there. I don't know why, but turns out she works there.
She's a nurse, yeah.
she wasn't that far along.
No, you're just being mean. She's not that fat.
She's not even fat at all.
So there's a Monarch agent being like, "Yeah, we're looking for your husband to congratulate him for a job well done."
Employee of the month.
Graduate.
So
He's graduating.
he's like,
Got a killer job.
he's like, "Emily, we're leaving."
Mm-hmm.
He's like, "Emily, get in the fucking car. We're leaving. Emily, we need to go. We're leaving."
And everyone's watching.
Emily? Yeah, everybody.
Yeah.
He's still about to hit her anyways.
And he's like, "Gibson, yeah, I think we're leaving.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking that we're gonna leave now."
And Gibbon says, "Oh, you think you're leaving? You think you're leaving?"
And so they have a fucking massive brawl in the hospital.
He pulls out the heat, dude. And Liam says,
And so
not today.
basically, Liam strangles this guy to death.
Yeah, it's like an oxygen tube.
Viscerally.
How
it's a power
ironic,
cable.
am I right? No, it's like an oxygen
It
tube.
is.
It's an oxygen tube.
I thought it was the power cable to the
It
oxygen
giveth
No,
oxygen
it
and it
is an air
taketh
tube.
oxygen
Oh,
away.
wow.
So Emily and Liam leave. Emily leaves and she's like, "What the fuck?" And he's
She
like,
runs
"Look."
out because she just watched her husband murder a man in front of her.
And then he
viscerally.
also reacts to his gunshot wound. She's like, "Who is this guy?"
Who is this
Because she
monster?
has never known what he does for work.
Aside from
She knows that he was-
vague security.
She knows he was in the military.
Yeah.
And that he does
was.
security now. You know what I mean? But she doesn't know that it's like paramilitary shit. You know what
Also
I mean?
doesn't know, like, why would you kill a man in public?
How I
Yeah.
could just kill a man! He says, "Listen, Emily, here is something you can't understand. How I could just kill a man."
What are you talking about? This is a reference I don't get.
No, really?
I'm assuming
I was
that
like,
was your
dude,
Limp Bizkit voice.
I was like,
Yeah, that's Limp Bizkit. You.
Was it not?
no, it's not Limp Bizkit.
That was your Limp Bizkit voice.
That was my Zach De La Rocha voice.
Oh, okay.
But it's
That's a
originally
Cypress Hill cover.
It's originally Cypress
Oh,
Hill. Yeah,
okay.
I was like, it's a Rage Against the Machine. Their last album was like just covers.
Yeah,
They also
Renegades.
covered like EPMD and something else. They did Pistol Grip Pump.
That was big for me when I was a kid. You know, I was, what, it was like 2003 or 4.
Yeah.
Fucking that album came out, and I was like, what? EPMD? Like, what is all this shit? Like,
Building on the
Cypress
scene
Hill
like a whole
sings
scene
about
of
things
stable.
other than weed.
Yeah. EPMD is
It
a
introduced me to a lot of shit. Africa Bambaataa.
Oh yeah. EPMD is the world to me because I'm housing.
I like Abba Baba Baba.
Africa Bambaataa.
Africa Bambaataa?
Yeah.
He's a big name in rap.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, no.
I'm just saying that was a gateway record for me.
Absolute same for me, because I wasn't really. I knew about like Eminem and Lil Wayne. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
that was the extent.
That was my awareness.
We do get a big cough from Jordan Hill. We do get a big exposition dump in this moment, like when they're going to the car and Emily's breaking down after seeing this shit.
And he stops her.
Yeah, but he kind of like all the stuff he says really paints out their entire
Jack
life.
Joyce arrived at the college.
But he was already there from the future.
So he went through, he found a chalkboard that had a bunch of stuff about Alan Wake on it.
Alan Wake is this game from 2010.
That was right after, first he like, I got ahead of myself. He was at the protest and he saw this TV screen and he started it.
There's a video with Sam Lake, but he was playing Alex Casey. Alex Casey is kind of this mirror of, oh Jesus.
Max Payne.
Max Payne. But no, honestly.
So Death Rally is kind of about cars, but
there's actually a reference to Thomas Zane in the...
And she's like, this isn't helping. I made it short that kind of makes fun of how often we talk about all the Remedy stuff. And it is
leave
just
this
like,
old house.
It's I kind of built on the joke of the Steam sale video that we did.
I've seen it.
You saw the short?
I watch everything. As soon as, unlike you guys, when I upload new videos and you don't watch them, I watch all your shitty videos.
I haven't even. It's not even public yet. You watched it just ready to go?
Yeah, because I have admin privileges.
Oh wow, that's crazy. But
you guys have to send me a link for me to see it.
Requested not to have it. But I'm just like acting as a new I'm a Hidden Machine fan, and then it's just like Alan Wake, like just Sam Lake, like Alan Wake, Alan Sam Lake, wait, and it's just like saying a bunch of random stuff.
Lake.
I feel like we're just pounding it into people's
But anyway,
brains.
Liam gives Emily an explanation.
Yeah, and he references how he used to be in the military, like you said, and then like
Here's the only thing I was good at.
Yeah.
And then when I got back, I didn't know how to stop it. And it felt good. It felt good. I hate to say
sounds
it.
like it's coming.
The only thing I was ever good at was loving you. And I'm going to do that until the day I die.
And he mentioned
what's
that
that from?
she was like a bartender. I don't know.
I don't think it's from anything.
The only thing I've ever been good at. Sounds like a Sylvester Stallone.
It sounds like everything.
Yeah.
Sounds like
Chasing
Rocky.
Amy.
But it sounds like Emily was a bartender and she was nice to him and he could never leave the bar, but she like helped him recover from that.
There's
and
like
then,
a
Monarch
really
was the other
sad
job.
scene if you make the decisions I made later involving the. He's like, it took a whole year. I wasted a year trying to build up, task you out. You know.
That's right. Yeah.
I'll tell you later.
Okay. Oh boy. Oh boy. And then that was a good moment. And she seems to kind of reluctantly, but also kind of like she's in shock. Like, okay.
Well, she's kind of like, he's also telling her like, the world's gonna end. You have to come with me. And this is like after like a guy did just come to kill him in the hospital.
Yeah.
Effectively,
Right,
you know
that
what
gives
I
a
mean?
little credence.
Yeah. Clearwater
Revival. To what he's saying though. So they go to Monarch HQ. So then you see Paul standing inside of HQ. He's looking at records to Dr. Kim's lab, and he has a vision of Hatch being taken into custody. He then hears his mobile phone ring and is told by the trooper on the phone that he has information about Hatch. Serene then tells the trooper that he wants Hatch apprehended.
Detain him.
Hatch pre.
So that's what you experienced.
Yes.
What we experienced was Hatch says, it was Sophia. She's bad.
Bad lady. She's a bitch.
Yeah.
Get that bitch.
He's saying Sophia wanted to destroy your treatments. That's why she blew up the lab with those fuckers. So Serene clarifies how much he needs her found and how he will decide her fate once they find her. So Liam finds his way to Riverport Hospital, blah, blah, blah. All that happens. Emily runs out of the hospital, blah, 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 blah,
That all
blah.
happens the same.
So then Paul can be seen standing inside of Monarch HQ. He's looking at records. He sees a vision of Martin Hatch being taken into custody. And the same thing happens. So basically, the main difference, though, is that he's like, look, get me Sophia. When I get her, then I'll decide what to do to her. Maybe I'll tickle her toes with a little feather.
You scamp?
Maybe I'll take a little fine ground black pepper, put it under her nose, make her sneeze uncontrollably. Maybe I'll get some of that Nickelodeon slime, And I'll dump it on her head.
Oof.
Repeatedly.
Over and over again.
Slimed.
Every time she gets it off her face, another one.
She'll be stuck in Kids' Choice Awards 1998 forever.
Legos in the shoes.
Ooh.
When she slides on her slippers, at the end of the night, one Lego.
He says, maybe, I'll strap her down to a chair, in front of a stage, perform my one-man show.
Make her listen to the Time Knife script.
For once. For once, Sophia.
Yeah, so that's the other thing I wanted to bring up is the only reason I don't care about Sophia is because she was very dismissive of the Time Knife script.
Yeah, she really kind of like...
She had every chance to jump on it.
Yeah,
she could have been early. I imagine she has some money. She could have been a producer.
She could have been like, well, this is really good. I can definitely pass this along to some people. People with that much money know people.
Right, but she could also have significantly contributed toward the production.
Well, absolutely. And probably profited off of it. It was a great script.
I mean, that's what producers often do.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty strong.
So, I think she's a fucking idiot because she passed on that.
Dumb bitch. Don't compliment that bitch.
Time doctor bitch. Idiot. Don't compliment that bitch.
Don't compliment that bitch. It's like a TikTok, dating advice guy.
Oh.
It's something. It's like a voice clip from him where he's like, if you want to get a woman, don't compliment that bitch. You know.
You like TikToks?
No, it's from something else. It's from a podcast I watched. They use that clip.
Oh, okay.
I like TikToks. My favorite TikToker is Hidden Machine.
Check it out. You can see his tits.
They're blurred.
You can't.
No, you can't. I'm kidding.
It's our biggest video. On TikTok. No. It's just our biggest... No. You still hold that.
Binding of Isaac still the biggest
You like
video.
Binding of Isaac.
Check it out. Good vid.
Anyway, so... that's the end of the episode.
Yeah.
Thank God.
And that's the end of this episode of Quantum Break, unless we have any thoughts we want to share before we say so long.
No, it was a pretty fucking... A lot happened in this episode. For the only being like 2 parts... it's
the rising
really
tension. You're getting towards the climax of the story.
Mm-hmm. You're getting close.
It's funny how little... it's funny
Get
how
ready.
small... shut up! How little we seem to talk about Jack Joyce. Even though he is he is the main character.
He's not really very involved in any of the episodes.
Well, I watched an interview with the actor who plays Jack Joyce, whose name is Sean Ashmore.
Star of Animorphs.
That's right, Animorphs. He was talking about he just said he's like in the game. It's the story of kind of the good guys, quote unquote, and then the show is kind of the story of the bad guys, quote unquote. Which I think that kind of makes sense.
I said that.
You didn't say that. Sean Ashmore said it.
I said that in the first episode.
Did you? Well, you took it from Sean Ashmore.
I think I took it from it being very fucking obvious.
Well, I'll say it.
I love when you see interviews with people who are in movies, and they're like, yeah, it's really just like a classic tale of a battle between good and evil, and it's like Star Wars. And you're like, yeah, is that the only thing you fucking took away from the movie you were in?
He seems like he cared about the production.
Totally. I mean, he's a big nerd.
Yeah, he is. I've seen him in a fair amount of video games.
He's a big fucking loser.
Big fucking, probably a virgin.
I don't know about that.
I think that's cool.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of, fuck, I can't remember her
Ben
name
Shapiro.
I'm a big fan of Ben Shapiro's sister, who probably advocates for everyone being a virgin until marriage. Modesty. That's why I think it's cool that he's a virgin. Because I'm a big fan of her.
And her modesty.
You're tolerated here.
Thank you. I see your tolerance. And I bask in it.
Thank you.
I'm not going to thank him.
I'm going to take it all in.
I'm just going to take it.
Well, is that it? Has everybody said what they have to say about...
I thought this was a great episode, great act. I think that it's...
I thought Matt was ending the episode like that. You're like, great job, guys.
No, I just think like it's very similar to there's often I see it every few months. There's a poll on the Alan Wake subreddit, like what's the best episode in Alan Wake. Almost always the winner is number 4, The Truth.
Where
you're gonna have to give me more.
Yeah.
Pretty sure it's where you
at?
Where you start to. Well, Taken, I think, is the one before that. And this is where once you've like realized what's going on with
the doctor
and everything, yeah.
Okay. Is this when you escape from the...
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that is a very good one.
But it's also, I think it's a similar point in the story where it's like, in this 5-act story, Act 3 is where the tension really meets a critical point, and it's like, it should be the most exciting part in a lot of ways. You know?
And story-wise,
I
it definitely was. Combat, it ramped up, and really everything kind of started to come to a head.
Yeah.
I like that the game is good enough that I don't want to stop playing it, but then the show is also so good that I don't want to stop watching it. You know, like every time it's like, I'm like, oh, damn, that's time. Well, no, I can't really say that. The show was so good, I was always excited for it to come on. Like, I couldn't wait to get to the end of each part to get to the show. But also, when the show was over, I was like, hell yeah, I get to play the game again. You know?
It was just well made.
It's just pretty fucking good.
Both quality.
So, you guys like the game?
Yeah. No. No, I really liked the game.
Yeah.
I genuinely thought, like, had I not played any other Remedy games, I would still play this game. Same with Control. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where Control, like, it's good on its own.
Yeah.
They're both just good games, I think.
Also, if you're just like not thinking about the RCU or any greater themes or anything, Control is like a great spiritual successor to Quantum Break in terms of mechanics and everything.
For sure.
It's like, cool. It's everything I like about this game, fucking refined. And like, if I could fly as Jack Joyce and like...
Oh, dude, yeah.
You know.
I'd be jumping all over those Monarch soldiers.
Yeah. Oh my God. Ground
I'm
pound.
interested to see... Because I doubt we'll get a sequel. I mean,
Never.
I don't even think doubt is a strong enough word. Yeah. But it's not because it wasn't good. It's just...
just how licensing works sometimes.
Yeah. But I wonder what they'll do, you know, in the future of the RCU to allude to Quantum Break. Like,
Yeah.
I'm sure there's stuff in Control, but I wasn't aware of it at the time.
There's several.
Oh, we've talked about it a little bit.
Have you watched my Exploring the Remedy Connected Universe video
No,
yet?
I should now.
Oh, now you can.
I can watch it spoiler free.
Well, you'll see that there are some incredible references to Quantum Break and Control that make you go,
huh? Do you guys want to hear my realistic puking noise?
all right, no, not at all. Thanks for watching.
Don't forget to like and subscribe and comment if you've got any shit to say. We asked you a few questions in this one. We got to tell them to subscribe.
Yeah, they're not rhetorical.
Yeah. You better answer.
And you better subscribe. I want to see 1,000 subs by the summer.
That'd be sick. That'd be sick. I fucking hate you.